And we're going to call this show the Moot. Now, if people are wondering what Moot is, there's various meanings for it, but in a nice basic way. It's like a meeting, an assembly, where sometimes you can fix stuff or debate. It's kind of about that in a basic way. So I just thought that'd be a good idea for a show for us three guys to just come each week, talk about anything that's on our minds, anything topics we want to talk about. But we'll also have a section for anyone who wants to get involved that you can put some questions in, and then the following week we'll try and answer them as truly as we can. Sometimes we'll go live and do this. Sometimes we'll have guests. There's no hold bars. We just want to have a good laugh, talk about any crap that we want, and hopefully you guys don't find it the cure for insomnia at home. So as you can see, we got Samantha, aka Sambino, aka Sam Cano, and he is in the house, but he's actually turned the lights off. We have London KGV there, London. He has a channel. The link will be in the description. So please give him a sub. Show him the love from the flockers. So here we go, guys. We're going to start the mute. I'll put in the intro that I'm going to do. And then when we come back, we're just going to talk about any shit that we want.
But now something is about to happen that has not happened for an age gathering.
Good stuff.
So, guys, here we go. Who wants to go first? Anything on your mind, or are we just going to make some shit up?
Let me get this party started, if you don't mind.
No, crack away.
Good stuff. Well, of recently, I've been talking about the shape of the world, Earth, what we call Earth, the construct, and I've been on this journey with the eye, right? Hollow Earth in another sense. But of lately, something that you brought to my attention, even though it's been there in my back of my head, but I haven't really given it much thought until you actually mentioned it a few more times, was the cave, right? The cave. Now, like you said a few days ago to me, the cave fits every model, right? The cave fits every model. And I don't see many people talking about the cave, right? They'll only just talk about flat Earth and the globe, right? I mean, each to their own, right? Who are we to tell people what they should talk about? But when people claim to be open-minded, I don't see much open-mindedness if they're just stuck on two shapes, right? They're stuck on two shapes. But I like that concept, the cave, because it births everything. It births the flat Earth, it births the globe, it births the concave, and it births the hollow Earth, right? So I think that's something that, we should bring to the table a bit more and discuss.
Yeah. The end. Everyone's falling asleep already. So yeah, it's weird. When I look at things, I know this might sound weird, but I don't know if it's like an autistic part of me or what. I just see all the information as information. I don't have like a vested interest. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I just treat it all as good shit, as I call it. It's all good information, and I want to use it and put things out there that make sense. Like when you're getting a tick box or you're doing a review, you go and buying something, and you always have a quick look, don't you, the reviews normally, and the good points and the bad points, and it's like I wanted to build something to create that type of list. What would this cave or a chamber what's its good points, and then what's its bad points? Because it ain't perfect. We can all nitpick at things and find, oh, well, that doesn't make sense here. But that's the point of it. That's why you need better people around you with the imagination and the processing power of the brain to, hey, what if you add this? And I've seen people over the years argue, fight, and it gets really, really, really personal. And I'm like, you're doing the so-called elites or Lites, whatever you want to call them, the L-shites as I call them, what you're doing their work for you. Like I've said, the truth, what people think is the truth, is being weaponized. And it's been weaponized for people to go out, and it's like faith. That's where the etymology of truth comes from. It's faith. That's why you get triggered when someone is attacking your belief. And that's why people get really, really personal, really, really quick, because it's like religion or politics. You're attacking something that's so dear to them, and the brain just can't process sometimes. And it's just the first reaction is to attack. So that's when I look at a topic and things come to me, I'm like, well, that would work for that. And then what would people always talking about this as a topic? Can I find a plausible theory for that in this model? And that's how I do the videos and work up. And people talk about giant trees. Well, what could giant trees be in a chamber or in a room? Oh yeah, they could be the trees themselves, because you see a lot of fossilized. We see mountains and people saying mountains. Well, that new theory, the scientists are talking about rock being able to produce dark oxygen. It's like you're putting these things together, hoping that people would discuss it and reveal even more. But it's like a ghost town. Yeah. Because we are who we are. We're not a huge channel. We don't big ourselves up. We're not aggressive with it. People ignore it. I mean, how many times I've made a video and used old bits out of it, and people are like, oh, that's great information. And I'm like, yeah, well, I've put it in the video 5 videos ago or 6. Yeah. Is our attention span so bad that you don't remember? And obviously, we all can forget a little bit, but there's a lot of stuff in the videos. You've only got to work yourself up from the bottom. There's a lot of good stuff in it and some bad stuff, because we all do it. So that's what got me interested in looking at the Cavemen and the chamber. And then when I broke down the word celestial to reveal a cell, and obviously then can break down to a room, a chamber, and you think about a cellar and a chamber, and people talk about burial chambers. This place is death and decay. Why is no one else picking this up? Is it totally out of the realms, Paul, that you've got it so wrong? Or is there something to it? And I just don't know. And like I said, I just keep building on it and showing all the videos and putting them in playlists. And it's like, come on, the better people out there, take a look at it, because it fits. You know, you talk about the eye a lot. I saw loads of your videos and you make good points. It fits. And then when you look at it, because even mentioning your videos, you know, this eye in a cave, etymology traces to an eye socket, and then so on and so on down to a cave. So why is it fitting everything? Yes. You know.
Yes, I agree with that. You said a few good things there, especially with, you know, the attention span to some of the details that you've already put out there, right? It's jam-packed. All of your uploads are jam-packed, and like you said, you've had to put some of the gems in most of your uploads, right? And that is good, because it shows that you are keen to make people see a different point of view, right? And that's what I'm about. That's what I'm about. To some people, they might say it's repetitive, but you know, sometimes it's needed, right? Yeah. Sometimes it's needed. And I do feel like it has been weaponized. The truth, like you said, it's been weaponized. It's been weaponized to the point where it's blinding us. It's blinding us now. We don't. It's there in plain sight to a degree, but it's like it's been altered ever so slightly, right? They haven't even altered it that much. It's just ever so slightly, and I think what they've done was just brought in a new character, like another opposition, but it's still their plant, if you know what I mean, right? So I like that. Now, going back to what you said about the cell, the cave, the eye, that is correct, because even when I looked into the eye as well, another word for it is a cave. That blew my mind away, right? I was like, what the how could socket be the same? Like, it's crazy, right? But it's there. And like I said, we don't even have to do that much, and it's just there, right? It's just there for you to have a look at. And you know, with the cell part, that cross references to the body, what I've been speaking about. You know, we have cells inside of us, and not only that, the cells that we have inside of us they take the shape of a hex, right? Most of the cells come in the shape of a hex. So when I see the hex and the cell, I think of the lens, right? The lens in the eye. Now, if you do a cross section of the lens, that gives you cells upon cells upon cells, right? The honeycomb matrix, that's what it gives you. And they speak about the matrix system, are we being controlled by the matrix, or are we inside the matrix, or whatever the case may be? But the matrix is always referenced, right? But the matrix goes hand in hand with the cell, and the cell go hand in hand with the hex, and the hex go hand in hand with the lens of the eye, and the lens of the eye goes hand in hand with the cave, my friend. So it's all there, man. You don't have to do much, it's just there. So I found that interesting, man.
Yeah.
Were you just talking about cells? The human body has around 50 trillion cells in it.
Woo! Damn.
All holographic, and when you actually look at them at a quantum level, it's more or less empty space. The holographic realization of ourselves, the experience that we're living, us all being one and splintering off into so many different cells, like the body.
Yeah.
For the experience.
See, even when you just said that, right, the holographic part of it, there's some people out there with the concept of a holographic Earth. So it like I said, it births every model.
Yeah.
Every concept comes from the cave, the darkness.
Yeah,
That's what intrigued me about it, because there's people been since how long been talking about Hollow Earth, and people automatically think, oh yeah, we are living on top of the Hollow Earth. But what happens if we're in a hollow? We're in one of them, like I've said, Swiss cheese model type of thing, all little interconnecting, because people talk about all these caves connecting everything. Well, why could we not be in a huge chamber, a huge cave? And even fits people talking about simulation, like a computer simulation, because the etymology says a room. So it could be a room where the servers or us are kept. So everything fits this type of model, even Creator Earth, you name it, it fits this model. And in the videos, I show that it fits all these models. So if it's like the Swiss Army knife and it fits it, I need people's help to find what is wrong with the model and find a ways around it. That's what I've been trying to do with what is the sun? Well, the sun, as you know, is an electromagnetic wave. Or you could talk about the stars being like solar bioluminescence bugs or path. I talked about the stars being migrating, like something migrating. They always take the same path. So they always take the same path. Even the ancestors take the same path. So if the stars are the same and really change, the formation, which they don't, as you know, could that be something migrating all on the cave ceiling?
And the stars almost look like crystals that you get in the ceilings of caves, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I showed examples of that, and also sometimes it looks like something scratched out of it, like claw marks. Especially when you look at them in a time lapse thing, it's just crazy, and that's just one thing amongst many that it should pique the interest. It's like, why do the astronauts learn in caves? And you can say, the social isolation and that, and people will nick and pick at it, but they tell you they go into the caves to learn how to be astronauts. It's just mind-blowing if you think about it. Being in a huge chamber, we've got sinkholes, where's the water coming from? Why is it flooding? Why does the water come in and go out? Because if you think about it, any model you think about it sounds nuts. That's the beauty of it. You go, globe sounds nuts. Flat Earth sounds nuts.
Yeah.
Concave sounds nuts.
Yeah.
Cave sounds nuts.
Yeah.
Eyeball sounds nuts.
Yeah. Hey, but check this out now, Paul, right? Because this is why I like building with you, right? Because look, what you just said there, right? I haven't heard nobody touch on this, right? And it's about astronauts in the cave, right? That's fucking crazy. Astronauts in a cave. On what fucking planet? What astronauts in a cave?
Don't say planet.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, now check this out, right? Because look, when we talk about astronauts, right, I've heard people say about, oh, they're training in water, but no one's ever mentioned the cave. They go into a cave to train. All right, it's always the water, the water, the water. Now, I think there's something to that with the cave. Right, they could be telling us again, the cave system, the concave system. That's interesting. That's very interesting.
And by the way, guys, Sam is here.
Yeah, I'm listening. So, well, this one thing with all of this that's sort of piqued my mind over the last year or so is why this is actually all being pushed so much in this sort of alternative community, if you know what I mean. There's, how do you explain? So they're coming out all of a sudden over the last couple of years. They're coming out with so many different theories, and they're almost being pushed with the algorithms with YouTube to get this information out there. It's just it's been quite strange where, for instance, your channels, you have to search for them to find them, whereas there are other channels out there that are doing this information with this, like the mud flood theories and things like that, and they're always being pushed on the algorithms.
Yeah, definitely. I think with the mud, hold on, before I even get to the mud flood, I wanted to say something just before I get to that. Back to the cave again, right, Paul? Do you think there's a link, right, with the cave system and the caveman? Or do you think they're trying to downplay it with, evolution? That's how we came up from the caveman and all that stuff. Do you think there's a different meaning to that, the caveman?
Well, just think how prolific it is when the modern era, when you do your own room or a space for you, they call it, the cave, the man cave.
Ooh.
So it's always in use. And if you think about it, if we did live in caves, Adam and Eve went to live in a cave, the cave of treasures. That's why I included that. You got Plato's cave. You got all these things of gods and things in a cave system. And if they said we were caveman, isn't that not telling you what we are? A man, woman living in a cave. Yes, you can say it's all that stuff when you're all about how you've evolved over time, and we know all that agenda that's been promoted. But think about it, and people think, well, how big's the cave? Well, how many programs have you seen now where they're promoting like a Hollow Earth type of thing, like the new King Kong films and Godzilla films? It's an expanse. It's so big. And then you look at how we see, and it's like, oh, well, you don't actually see in colors and everything is, it's like, whoa. So, what is going on? And this is why it intrigues me, because if people's in simulation, it could be a chamber, a room, a holodeck. That's why I did the video called "Are We Living in a Holodeck?" People are talking, like you mentioned before, a holographic type of thing. It fits this narrative. That we're in an enclosed system, which everyone in say, oh, we're in an enclosed system. The firmament, I brought that down on all this, and it shows you what we're in. We're in a cave, we're in a chamber, within a chamber, within a chamber. And people always talk about that mud flood and different things, and how things have been covered. Well, we're in a cave, we're in a cave, we're in the cave. Bit like was it Dante's Inferno type of thing? It's just like the hourglass of showing that, and the method, even the Masons had that as a symbol on their graves and things. It's called tempus fugit, time flies. So it's just crazy that this method that I got excited about has good things going for it. Yes, it has some negative things, and you like talking about the expanse, but people talk about giant trees. Well, what holds up a cave roof? but stalagmites and stalactites, and it's showing you it's a column.
Yeah.
It's all there, and that gets chipped away. The roof comes, roof comes down, and you're creating more space in this cave chamber. It's like an extension. It's so weird that people talk about so many different things, the sun and the moon and the stuff. It's like it fits a lot of these things. It's a mind-blowing theory that I put together, and it wasn't me being politically correct. Oh, I want to help a lot of people. I just thought, what are the major points that people are talking about? Could this bit fit into this system? And it's like, whoa, it really is. And it's talking about NASA can be traced back to a cave. All the stuff, the name etymologically wise, I showed that in the videos, and the cleft and people call it a serpent tongue. Well, it also looks like a cleft. And in Enoch talks about people living in clefts. You've got the ancient, is it a Hopi, Sam, that talk about the ant people coming from caves below?
Yeah.
Come on. Like, if they keep coming from a cave, why can't we be in a cave?
Yeah.
Is it the case of this cave is more open, so our pigmentation's changed lighter? Or is it, would you be more albino if you're living in a cave because there's no sunlight? But I'm assuming there'd be ways around it. Could it be the vice versa? Is it a more open cave? People are darker in color because there's more of this UV stuff. UV under something, under the ground type of thing, and it's crazy because that just
under the vault.
The whole caveman theory as well. Unless we've lost loads and loads of caves, they're one of the rarest things you can find, aren't they? They're like mystical almost nowadays because there aren't many caves around, So where did all these cavemen apparently live if they all lived in caves?
Yeah,
I've got a theory about that. I think, how can I put it to you? I think most of this realm, right, has been covered up by the mud flood, and I think some of these cave systems could have also been covered up by the mud floods, right? But I've seen a picture. It was somewhere in, I think, Russia, right? One of those holes when it exploded, right? And they was talking about gas. The buildup of gas made these the floor explode, and it creates these caverns, these craters now, right? But when I've seen the picture, it showed you like the foundation of the floor and everything. The how would you call it? The layers, right?
Yeah.
It had the mud, then it had like this type of rock formation, and then it had like another layer of something, right? But that was quite impressive because if you move the mud, right, the foundation that was under all of that mud and stuff, it almost looked like it was the moon material, right? Like it looks like that grey type of metallic substance that when you look at the moon, like even NASA shows you, they show you like an albedo of a grey moon, right? And that's what the floor kind of looked like under the mud, all of that stuff, right? So I'm saying, could that have been another reason why they even introduced a mud flood? If there was a mud flood to cover up the true foundation, the layer of the earth, aka the moon, if it's a reflection light.
And you're talking about mud floods, just the last month on this realm that we're in, just looking at all the weather events that are going on, you can see how quickly things can change, like it's areas where they're having mass floods. It's not raining, and they're recording the mud and water coming out of like fountains in the ground. So no one can really explain what's going on at the moment with all these weird weather anomalies that are going on around the globe at the moment. But it could change instantly overnight. You can actually sort of see now how quickly things could change.
Yeah.
And that just fits like a cave scenario where you can't see things coming, and it just it's an intriguing topic. And like we were talking about, it's so funny that people said they've got an open mind, and we start talking of this, you find out they not have a very open mind. It's crazy because as you know, people have been talking about sun simulator and all that for years. I've been talking about it for X amount of years, got cold crazy, and it's like each topic has a trend. As soon as a content creator who has a big following, which can be used for good and bad, it creates theories on theories. Like we're talking about how powerful the mind is, you know, and it's like when something's important from the ancient times, where do you find it? You find it in a cave wall.
Yeah.
You know, and if we are cavemen and people automatically think of Neanderthals and different things like this, it's like, well, if you got a cave and then in another cave, they've evolved quicker than you and they come through and you know, you could be like a knuckle dragger, like compared to them. And people talk about UFOs or underwater submersibles and things like this. It could be people from another cave. You know, it's just like the possibility is endless of this topic. You know, you live on an island, you are out of contact and not getting any research, and you can only evolve at that rate that people's on that island. Yet someone on another island, because you could look at it as islands, you know, is close enough to have evolved and have transport, and they're going out searching. It's just, you know, it's just one of wow topics, and it's like, how can everyone's theory fit inside this cave? Because people talk about them, oh, they've landed on the moon, or it's not. We know it's not the moon, and it's Thingy Island, or it's this and this and this, and it's like, well, just look. You go in a cave. They're already training in a cave. You know, look at the surface of them. They have craters. We showed you images. I showed images and videos, and I showed it London last week of a tree in a cave. How did that tree form as thick? And I mean, it's bigger than you could grab around. How was that grew in a cave? Because you're talking about what, thousand millions of what years if it is a cave. Now you're talking mud flood or a collapse. Makes more sense.
Yeah.
Did NASA give a meaning for why they train in a cave?
Oh yeah, it's I put it in the video. It's basically, you know, they say the isolation and the how difficult it is down there is representative of being out in space.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Darkness, I suppose. Darkness.
Yeah.
it's like
I tell
how
you this
crazy.
though, the tree theory. When I first heard of that, I was like, okay, yeah, that's a go ahead. I like that one. I like that one. But then when I actually thought about it, you know, I was like, I can see it, but it's not really there. And then when you brought the cave system to me, I was like, yeah, I can see that one more. I can definitely see that one more now. Yeah, definitely see it.
Well, as you know, they train a caver, and in that video, I also saw they say they found extensive tunnels, caves on the moon. How handy is that? So
Yeah,
all they have to do now is go in any cave around the world, film it, and say, "Oh, look, this is a new cave system that we found on the moon."
yeah. And not only that, the cave systems, Paul, what they're actually naming them is lava tubes, right?
Yeah.
Lava tubes. Now, when has there ever been lava on the moon? All right. So it's wild, right? Because one of the places, right, that seems to catch my attention is the Americas. When they show me the moon and the lava tubes,
Yeah.
brings my attention over to Idaho, right? I've been looking at Idaho because there's some lava tubes over there. And not only that, right? It's the, how would you call it? the pyramids of the moon is over on the Americas, right? And it's not too far from, you know, the lava tubes and all these things. But it's like, why would you name something the pyramids of the moon if we're not even on the moon, right? Things like that.
Do you want me to share something with you and it'll blow your mind?
Yes, please.
Because I've just done it while we're talking. What did you mention before? You talk about, and I talked about the algorithms, right? You know, everyone talks about the algorithms, and I always change the A to an E, so it's L, the Elohim, the algorithms. Now I'll share the screen and I'll make it big for everyone, even at home they can read it. I've just blown away. I've just done this as we're doing it, so I'm going to share the screen.
Yeah, buddy.
Well, and I'm shocked. So let me do that. I'll share the screen. Wrong one. Algorithms. Look at the etymology for go. The word go. Can you all see it at home?
Yeah, yeah.
The word go has multiple etymological origins and meaning. In the context of the Gorian novels, it translates to home or stone. Oh, that's a cave. In the fictional Gorian language, however, go appears in various other texts. Blah, blah. I'll go to the bottom. In European roots, meaning manure, dung, or filth. Another etymology trace. Go back to the Persian go, meaning hollow or cavity.
Yeah.
So the algorithm is the L's and the cave, the hollow. And obviously you can then break down rhythm yourself, a frequency, a sound, whatever. That's mind blowing. So the go bit in algorithms is a hollow or cavity.
Yeah.
And that just wowed me, that.
Even I saw Gorian down there, like Gregorian, right?
Yeah.
Right. Everything.
Gregorian, and then you got the Gregor, which is like a fallen angel, isn't it? Is it Gregor? I think it is.
Okay, see? It's it's all to do with the stones, the rocks, the cave.
Well, it is. What's one of the biggest companies in this realm? It's Shader, BlackRock.
Yeah. Yeah, BlackRock, exactly.
You know, so and then
there's another one as well called Black Stone that a lot of people don't know about. Yeah, they're even bigger.
Yeah,
so
that's something.
See, can't
you? Yeah, yeah, Blackstone. I think I used to use that back in the day. Actually, like a soap. You clean your body with that one.
They're a massive like financial firm, the same sort of thing as like BlackRock, but you don't really hear about them very often.
No, exactly. But hey, Paul, something you said earlier, right? And I had no idea that Adam and Eve was tied into the cave, right? But not only that now, right? Because when I've been looking into the Adam and Eve theory and breaking it down, it seems like they're just speaking about the body again, right? Eve would be, you know, the structure, and Adam or atom would be inside, like, you know, the woman is the house and the man the occupant inside the house, Adam and Eve, right? And that's what I get from that. Us as Adam or atom, meaning man, right? We're inside of the woman, the womb, the cave.
Yeah, and womb in the Bible is matrix, and Adam, Adam breaks down to of the earth.
There you go. Yes, of the earth, exactly. And the matrix is the womb, exactly. Now that goes back to what we was talking about earlier, the lens, the eye. That's the only that is one of the only places you'd find the hexagonal matrix is in the lens of the eye. It's fascinating.
Yeah,
fascinating.
That sort of also breaks down to like the helix of the DNA. You know, going that deep.
Yes. Okay. I'm glad you mentioned that now, because through my research also now, that is where most of the like you said, the how would you call it, the mitochondrial DNA.
Yep.
Everything is placed within the nucleus of the eye. I had no idea. Just the cells is stored in the eye.
Right.
I had no idea, bro. That is crazy. So when they talk about the animals on the ark 2x2, right? Before the flood, that's them going onto the lens. The lens is the UFO, is the ship, right? The lens is the UFO, is the ship. It's where the DNA is stored. Fascinating.
Yeah, and you know,
Noah is Janus.
and we've almost got what we know about with science. They've got to that stage already, haven't they? Be able to reproduce all these different things. Just trying to mimic it all again.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, Paul, did you mention something about Janus just a second ago?
Yeah, Noah goes by Noah Janus.
Okay. Do you want to elaborate a bit more on that for us?
No, it's just in my videos over the years, I've just showed you from old books. People know Noah, the first shipbuilder, goes by another name, Janus, and they said he settled in Italy, and you know that's where basically that starts from. So you got Noah being Janus. You know, I've showed him videos like from ancient books. Now, I can't remember. Was it another? A flocker? I think it was Adam, or it might have been Adam. I can't remember now. It was a long time ago. He found that for me in an old book and sent the images to me. Said, "Go and have a look at this," and I couldn't believe it. Noah Janus. You know, it's crazy because you know you can see the ship. He's a god of arcs.
Yeah.
He is the father. You know, and you got about these animals going in 2x2, like his heads, and it's just a mind blow. I mean, we talk about who's in charge, like I was saying to you, who's in charge of the seas, the administration, who's in charge of the skies, above, so below. I call Noah, Noaa. Noah. Well, I've just showed you about the connection with Janus. I said to people, don't take my word for it. Look at the information I've sent you. Yes, it's someone's perspective who wrote the book. And again, that's what his story is. But people talk about it, don't they, all the time? They go, oh, his Tory. Well, Tor in German is door. His door. Who's the god of fucking doors?
Yeah.
And then you see all about these people in the Tartardi community, in the Mudflood community. And again, this was off, I think it was, was it Tamara? I can't remember now. So if they're listening, you know, I miss this so blatantly obvious. So when you say something in past tense, that letter was invented to do it. T, the letter T, past tense, right? A name, a derivative of Janus, right, is Gian, Gian. Put letter T on the end of Jan, you get giant.
Ooh.
Right, and in the old videos I showed you from way back, so you're talking 5+ years. I've showed you in the cathedral in Genoa, which is named after Janus. It says he was the progeny of giants. So it's not me saying it.
Yeah.
So he was a giant. So you got all this talk of giants and where they gone and what happened to them, and you got the Smithsonian and it involves dumping them at sea, and there's all these things. Well, if we're in a cave, just like an animal in a fish tank, bigger fish tank, what happens in a bigger fish tank, guys? The fish gets bigger.
Yeah.
The oxygen levels are different. They could have more pure oxygen to us, how it's produced, because they've taught you, science say most of the oxygen in this world is produced by plankton in the sea. And then now we have the dark rock caves and mountains could be producing oxygen. More of these in quantities could produce bigger people. You know, and all these things just intrigue me. Again, I never say, oh, well, this is a fact, but I find it fascinating because I've been in these communities and they all talk about giants and look at these giant doors. And I go, yes, giant. Wouldn't it be so a coincidence that a god of doors was a giant and the doors are big? And I show people this and I get blocked and I get chucked out of groups. They don't want to know because it doesn't fit the narrative.
Yeah.
And this is what happens to me all the time. As soon as I mention that, name, I get hounded out of anywhere because they don't want to know. It's not cool. The cool kids are not talking about it. The cool kids are not doing content on it. They're not making money on it.
Yeah.
But they'll do videos on Janus, but I don't get invited.
Yeah. I hear you there, bro. I fully hear you there. You know,
Sam will back me up on that because he's been watching me for a long time.
Yeah, well, yeah, we were talking about it earlier, mate, weren't we?
Yeah.
Leave that one there.
you know, something you mentioned earlier, right? Of the Torah, right? Even when you look at the Torah, right? Because look, most of these words that are out there, these are like compounded words, right? So when we actually do break them down, it's actually telling the story what we're telling, right? It's telling us about the cave, the rocks, the mountain, right? Now, when I'm looking into Torah, you break down Torah, it's telling you about a hill, a rock, a peak, right? Now, the description to this construct through some of the findings that I've been coming across, it's about a mound or a hill, right? Now, even when you look at the old, I think is it the Mercator map or one of them, when it's got that mountain in the middle, Mount Meru, right? Mount Meru's poking through and it's got the 4 continents going around Mount Meru, right? There's always something to do with a mountain when it comes to this construct. Like we were talking about Black Rock or Black Mountain, whatever it is, right? But the mountain is hidden in some of these words, right? Now, I was also looking at Ben Stone, right? The Ben Stone also is another abbreviation for the rock, the hill, right? Now, like I said, further you go back, they describe this realm of being on a hill or a mound or off a slope. It's on a slope, a very slight incline, right? Now, this is what we was talking about earlier. The cool kids ain't talking about these things. Like I said, they're just stuck on flat earth and globe, right? But there's many shapes in this world, right? Now, there was something I came across a few months ago, and it said it was on the lines of the occultics, right? They said something like, if you don't let your imagination run wild, you'll never get the picture. So you have to let your imagination run wild. And I think everybody's stuck in their scientific method ways, right? Demonstrable facts, oh this, oh that, oh this, oh that. But reality lies to us. Our eyes lie to us, you know. Illusions play tricks on us. So this is why you have to let your imagination run wild. Otherwise, things won't make sense to you.
Yeah, for sure, mate. The cult talk about that so much, don't they? With Gnosis, where you think of us as like mini computers, and we're just programmed, all formatted basically at school, aren't we? From school onwards, just formatted. So we nobody's seeing the big picture. No one's really looking out and looking, well, like us and the people that are listening, actually looking at the world in a different way.
Yeah. Definitely.
They're trained in this from kids, you know, to look at the world in a totally different way as we do when we're sent to school.
Most definitely.
Yeah, programming from an early age.
Yeah, that comes from not only your parents but culture, the school. You know, by the time you get to 16, you don't really stand a chance. Most people.
Most definitely, and that's just why we're here today, isn't it? Sitting around the pretend fire, debating different shit that we call gold and information. You know.
Well, we were the annoying kids that always asked why after the question. When your parents told you something, there was always a why, wasn't there? You never got the actual. They never explained it properly to you.
It's like also like when in most of my videos, that's just why I do what I do. I just want to show there's a different perspective on this perspective. We all look at this world differently. you know, and it creates all these problems for us. You know, it's why they say it's hidden in plain sight, you know, and that's why I do the stuff on the eyes for so long. You know, one of the first videos I did on the eyes, it was a bad one, but it was a truth wavelength, because that was before I did the etymology. I wanted to know why people saw different things and fought over it, you know. And now when you do the etymology and look into it, and it means faith, and that's how you get triggered, it makes sense. Again, does not mean it's right. It just means it's right for me at this minute in time with the information I've gathered. Because we know data, or as I call it, data anagram is the at, and that is number 11. You know, so that is so-called knowledge, or the supreme knowledge, or whatever thing collides. And I just love to show you in the content, and hopefully people can set that on board, whether to go where and show people the fight I've had just to show content and people, you know, because they always go back to the main thing that's programmed. They go, oh, well, it's Saturn, it's Saturn, it's Saturn. And I said, well, here you go. Here's an ancient book, a snippet from an ancient book, and it says Janus is first, and Kronos and Saturn were basically modelled off Janus. Oh, well, that book's lying. Well, okay, so is your book. Who's the judging? Who sold more? There's none. It's just what your heart, your intuition at the time, you go with. Or if a big channel comes out and says something, it gets run with. And then, you know, when you then, people are messaging, oh, well, you're not right, Paul, because it's this. And I'm like, oh, well, where have you got this information? Straight away, a channel. We should not be used as reference material, because, guys, we're making this shit up, and that's just being kind. We are researching it, but it's information that's out there in a book or online. Everything can be manipulated for good and for bad. So we're using all the same information. You can go out today, find something on their book, and there'll be a million alternatives for that, saying the same thing, but ultimately different at the end. Who is the person that picks which is correct? It's like I always say, people talk about Pythagoras. He didn't write one book. Well, how do you know what information he said? Exactly. You know, we're using stuff, and we've all played that game, Chinese Whispers or whatever, and you know how different it is when it gets passed along the line. Who's got the original information? Did that guy who had the original information, was he high as a kite? Was he tripping his balls? Who knows? Because there's people like us and you at home today always research and theorize, theologians, philosophers. They're just the same as us now. Finding something that makes sense to them, and they put on a scroll, and that information gets treated as law or fact.
Yeah, I agree there. I mean, what you said about the information that we bring forth, you're right. Let me put it this way. Majority of us was globers, right? We came out of school as globers, even into our secondary years, even when we started working, whatever the case may be, right? It's only until we started putting dots together, right? But I say that to say this. When Eric Dubai, or Dubay, however you pronounce it, when he came up with the 100 proofs, and when people started catching on to this flat earth stuff, right? That's not him going out there doing physical research or doing little experiments. That's him compiling evidence that's already been written, right? So he's brought that information back to light, whether it's true or false. It's the information is out there, but people wasn't aware of that, right? So now it's out there because he's introduced it to the public again, right? I think it was from the Zetetic Astronomy, something along those lines, right? So it's society. Now, with some of the work or information that I bring forth, that's information that is out there. It's not me making this stuff up, right? Even people can't fathom a macro eye or living in an eye or a lens or a reflection. That's not me making this shit up. This shit is already out there. I'm just bringing it to the public again.
Yeah,
Right?
someone beat you to it.
Yeah.
Made that shit up before you was even born.
Yeah, all right, Paul. Thank you. Okay, well, hold on, Paul. 'Cause what you said there was a gem right there. This stuff is effing out there before
Yeah.
I was born, before you was born.
Exactly.
I think Sam was around this info. And I'm only joking, Sam.
Sam's in. He's been here forever.
Exactly. This information's been around before us, bro. Before our grandmothers. You understand? It's been
Yeah.
out there. It's not us making it up. So when people say to me, "Oh, London, I think you're reaching the pyramid Earth or the lens or that," I'm like, "All right, don't shoot the messenger. It's just out there,
Yeah.
like just bringing it to light again."
You saw something, no pun intended. Are you still with us, Sam?
Yeah, well, I was just going to say as well, London, these people were adventurers, if you know what I mean. They probably actually got on a proper wooden boat and actually went around this globe, whatever it is, and actually had a look for themselves, you know. Whereas nowadays, no one's actually really, well, you can't do it, can you? You can't even get on a ship and go down to Antarctica because you get blown out the water if you don't turn around.
That's it. That's it.
It's just crazy, isn't it? And then, you know, because like I say, you're more London's famous for his eye, obviously, because he got his eye on his thing. I'm famous for Janus. Sam's famous for everything in between.
There you
He's
go.
the proper raver. Yeah.
There you go.
We love making fun of each other, do me, Sam.
Something I found on a video today, Paul, interesting with Janus and 11 was it's a video about the Italian gentleman that invented the computer chip. Now, we all know that a computer chip works as a 0 or a 1, true or false.
The binary, computer code.
Yeah, and the new, they explained on this video that the quantum computers work as 1 and 1, 11. That's how the coding of those chips work. So it's always true. It's always on. That's how these quantum computers actually work.
Fascinating, isn't it? When you look at it like that, because that's just one thing that's really not great me, you know, because you know, people me, I'm laid back and I'm easygoing, but it's like when I've showed information, why is it, you know, I make a silly meme and it goes viral. You know, me and a guy once collaborated and made a meme of Freddy Krueger with Bill Gates' head, and that went super viral. Celebrities were posting it, but I want to show something like deep and look at this, and it's crickets. It's like, well, people talk about the pineal. Well, they say it's called Janus. People want to talk about transgender. Who's the god of transitions and going from one to another? Oh, Janus. And then you're going about that period in time where we had lockdown and making us wear face masks, two-faced. And I've showed all the connections. The first person who died was on January the 11th. And I've showed all these connections. The machine to test was called Janus. And it's like all the things that people research and are so intrigued in, you can find direct correlations to Janus. And it's like, why do people not want to mention it? You know, it's just beyond me. It's not about mentioning my name all the time. Far from it. But when people are talking about pineal and all this stuff, and they called it that. And then you have series on, you know, Utopia that I've done, and how his number, Janus' number is not just 11. That represents the door. He's very famous for carrying 365, the calendar, the calends. He sits above the zodiac. So in astrology, people should be intrigued. You know, he is involved in everything because he's a janitor, and janitor, the name comes from him.
Yeah.
You know, and it just boggles me, and that's why I love researching the topic, because it's the topic it keeps giving. People are talking about, like was mentioned to you the other day in London, and Sam's seen old videos of it, that people that were talking about, we're talking about caves and how we're going to get out of these caves. People are talking about this realm, whatever shape, and how do we get to outside the ice wall, if you believe in an ice wall or whatever. And over 5 years ago, I find 2 islands named after the god of doors or portals. One each end.
Yeah.
Why is that not being looked at by better people? More brain computing power. I've just showed you. You're asking how can you get out of here, and I showed you. Well, they've called two islands the name of the god of doors or portals. Could that mean that's where they are? And it's just, I get just crickets. People just don't want to know because we're not an influencer. I don't want to be an influencer, but you know, we're not. You know, people just take our word as sac of tree, and they're going away, and that stuff gets promoted as fact.
Yeah.
In the end of the day, like we just said, we're getting the information. It's always been out there, but also we're putting it together.
Yeah.
And I politely say, well, we're making this shit up. We're putting the patches. We're getting the puzzle, and we're putting it together ourselves. You know, there's no one information out there that they're 100% right, because the taking leaps of faith. Where have you getting your information from? Oh, well, a book. Well, could they not be lying? Or getting the information from the internet? But when I do it, oh, well, the internet's easily hackable and they can change it. And what you're getting now is the influx of people using AI photographs as proof of stuff. Oh, look at this giant. And you can see it's a fucking fake AI generated image.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, guys, you know, please. You can see it's fake. You don't need it. You can even reverse image search it. And people are showing me all these things. Oh, look at this doorway, Paul. And I'm like, yeah, it's fake. How do you know it's fake? Because just reverse image search it. The artist tells you he's got all these images from all these big doors and put them together. And I'm like, you know, for instance, remember that famous image that was going around of people in face masks with countries on, and it was supposed to be in the airport.
Yeah, yeah.
And I had a person who lived by the side of it and said, no, it is there. I said, well, go for me right now and take a photograph with you next to it. Oh, and they started being angry and angry. And I said, okay, you just lied. There you go. There's the guy who made the artist. And that's where it is. Didn't hear from him again.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not here to dampen it. I'm just saying, yes, I would love these things to be true because it's good content for us to make.
Yeah.
And we have got it wrong. I've sometimes not checked an image. We've all done it once or twice. Because it's all about time. We're getting so intrigued. You want to get out there and get it first.
Yes.
But you can simply do by reverse image search, and it'll tell you where it is and what it is. And I'm catching people out all the time, message me, oh, look at that, and then that's proof of this. And it's like, you can see it's fake. Oh, no, it's not. Well, reverse it, image search it. And they don't want to know because you're going against a big channel where they've got the information from and they're defending them.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, we all can make mistakes. Just be big enough to hold it up. I've made many and will make many.
Yeah.
I got, you know, I mean, I'm constantly doing it.
Yeah.
But just be big enough to admit it. Because we're in a day of information, it can be used for good or bad.
Like, even with that reverse image and stuff, I heard you say it back in the day a few times, but I had no understanding of what it even was, right? And even looking back at it now, I think I even had some pictures that was even questionable, throwing them in stuff just so I can get it out there.
There's no harm in putting the questionable imaging on, guys, as a talking point. No, nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with doing what you know, whatever you want to do on your channel is your channel. But when people then start fucking using it, I only did this today, and you know, when people take information, many years ago, I want to show you now what it is now. And I made an image and it got taken off the social media and used for proof. So you can see it, image. This is from years ago.
Oh yeah.
So I made that.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. And I just showed, listen, if I can do that on an iPad, what do you think NASA can do with all the millions that they've got? Right. And my ignorance, I didn't think people would just take the image and then run with it. And again, you can see underneath, it went viral.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and people then were using it as proof.
Yeah.
You know, and you don't even
Lord.
have to do that now. You've got AI images to do it. You can do
Yeah.
whatever you want. You
Yeah.
know, it's a tool there for us to use, but there's a lot of people who do that. They just make the shit up and get put out and it influxes and it changes people's mind because people want to believe. You know, I believe in giants. I believe in certain topics, but you know, you can't trust for 100% things that we get from even normal sources because things can get manipulated. You've only got to go in, and now when you do a search, it's always AI search. And did I get it? Because I made a post on it. I asked AI, "Do you lie?" And it goes, "Yes, we do lie. We also hallucinate." What the fuck? And sorry for my spelling.
Hallucinate? What?
AI saying he's hallucinates.
That's wild.
I saw a thing just yesterday about a bloke talking to AI, and it was more or less telling it that it was Sentinel and alive. Like this AI would not have it that it wasn't alive and Sentinel.
I'll try and find it.
Pretty
So
scary.
Yeah, it is.
I tell you another thing about that reverse imaging as well, because when I actually found out about it, right, like I said, I had no idea what it was or how to do it. But when I actually came across it and started to do it, it helped me out a bit more. It led me to more things that I've never seen before, more pictures and more ideas.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it comes in handy, believe it or not. It comes in handy. So yeah, that's a good thing, man. That's a good thing.
I was just about to say I've never used AI, but I'd probably be lying because it's in everything nowadays. And half the time you don't know if you're using it or not, do you?
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just trying to find it now. Are you guys?
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah. So, what AI would you use, London, then?
Well, to be honest, Sam, I don't actually have like a AI system that I use or anything come off computer like that. Like the only AI thing that I may use if I go into Google and they do the AI overwrite for me.
I'll get you. Yeah, right.
Paul, share your screen, Paul.
There you go. If you can see it, the top one says hallucinate. It won't focus in on it, but you can just see the top one. I'll just get the word. Why is it every time you go to?
I was going to say, make your screen big. Do solo screen.
Yeah, no, I'll get it. I'll send it. See if I can send it to me. Send it to this, and then I can go into it. Then let me just put it into. I just found it like people were right. Why is the computer saying it's hallucinating? It's just mind blowing. So let me just get it off now. Because I was just asking, you know, why could you lie? You know what I mean?
What would a computer need to take to hallucinate?
I know. Right, let's get it on the screen. And I can.
Maybe it's got it inside already. It just
yeah,
the code for portobello mushrooms or whatever it is.
The code, yeah.
Just an algorithm. Chipping out its nut.
Isn't it funny when you start looking for things? I've just saved it. Where's it gone? Right, is it in this one? Ah, there it is. Next to Sam's face.
Hey.
Right. It's just here right next to your face. Right, let me come back to this. And you can see on the screen, right, share screen. And I was just asking that question. It just blew me away. Like, why would it say it's hallucinating? You know, so you can do these things and there you go. Hallucinate. Sometimes it generates information that sounds plausible but isn't true. Right there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But you know, that's it there.
Do you know what, actually? Because even what it just said there, right? Sometimes it generates information that sounds plausible but isn't true. So it doesn't mean like hallucinate, like looking at something and it's tripping out. It's about the information it's given. Now, I've been watching some people, Paul, right? And that fits them. Right? I've been watching some people and I've been seeing them do is it chat GPT or whatever it's called? Right? Them having full-blown conversations, and they might think the information what they're given, chat GPT is given, is true, but like it said, it hallucinates. So it may not be telling you the truth. But I've seen people base their whole just off the chat GTP, whatever it's called, right? Their whole show off it, not like a few findings, but the whole show. And I'm like, so the whole show that you're presenting to us is of chat GPT. It's hallucination, right? It's you shouldn't really be taking it for what it is. If that's the case, I can understand a few words out of it, few sentence or a few paragraphs, but for a whole show,
it's just crazy, isn't it? That's just
what's your thoughts
I
on
found
this?
fascinating.
With you know, certain people talking about this AI being demonic as such. Now, talking about hallucinations, the last thing I ever did, like mushrooms or anything like that, was an ayahuasca retreat in Amsterdam with my sister. And we had 2 nights booked. The first night, when I took the ayahuasca and did the ceremony, the ayahuasca spoke to me and basically said, you can't be here tomorrow. All hell's going to break loose.
Wow.
The veil's too thin for me to protect you anymore, and you shouldn't be doing these ceremonies anymore, like anything that would make you hallucinate, they say. So the next day, when I woke up, I just sort of said to everyone that I'm not going to do this today. I'm going to just go into Amsterdam. And this young French lad that was there basically said, can I come into Amsterdam with you? I don't want to be here today. Now, he had exactly the same experience as me. Basically, the ayahuasca talking to you and saying, you can't be here tomorrow. The veil's too thin. I can't protect you anymore. He's basically he was talking to us about demons. And when we got back to the place where the ceremony was going on, all hell had broken loose that day. One girl, she was almost possessed. She was only tiny, probably weighed about 6-7 stone. And it took 3 fully grown men to hold her down so she couldn't run down these stairs and possibly hurt herself. So, yeah, it was very bizarre. So, and that, as I say, the ayahuasca was talking to us about demons, the veil being too thin. Yeah, what are your thoughts on that with this AI and demonic stuff?
Well, I'll let you get that for London, and then I'll join in.
I've never dwelled into the ayahuasca stuff before, but the AI and the demonic stuff, I have actually heard Elon Musk and these people talk about, they're summoning the demon with AI. Like, when I heard them actually say that, I was like, what's going on here? And I've heard references to the beast, the 666 is linked to technology, right? Chip implants and these things like that. So, I think there may be.
To interrupt, there's like Steiner and the Ahrimanic technology, the Ahrimanic force.
Ahriman. What's that? What is that?
Steiner talks about Ahriman being like a demonic force that is in technology, basically.
Okay.
That's what technology is. It's the Ahrimanic force.
Okay.
Rupert Steiner, yeah.
Well, even when I think about that, I think about is it just a frequency that's in the technology that's bad for the human body, a frequency more instead of like a proper demon, something, a physical entity, more like a frequency that's bad for the humans, bad for the, how would you call it, the human race, right?
Yeah, well, like almost like it's taken us. Well, if you look at it, really, it's taken us down to a fairly dark path, isn't it? Technology,
Yes, in that sense, like a frequency, not really like summoning something evil, more like a frequency that we're not aware of.
A guiding frequency, almost, just guiding us down a dark path. So what are your thoughts, Paul?
Well, you know what I've said about path before. An anagram of path is Ptah.
Woo.
Ptah is also another name for father. And you have obviously Janus father, Janus pater, and the Pope was called the Pope, his father. You know, so you can see the connection with anything, and it's like, oh look, AI. Well, oldest name for a god and Janus, as I showed you in the last video, is IA. In Greek numerals, it's the door, it's the pathway, it's the gateway, it's the portal. So, you know, people talk about mirrors and copies and things. Well, the reverse of it.
Yeah, I was just going to say the reversal, isn't it? Yeah.
The reverse of IA is AI. You know, is that the computer side of the creator, or the, you know, people talk about us being everything from a computer program to simulation like Sims in people's controlling us. Then you've got people like what's he was talking about last week? What's his name now? I mentioned in the last video. Neville Goddard. He talks about this being the realm of death and decay, and we've chose to come down here to experience it. You know, did we? Were we forced? You know, or is this a rite of passage? You know, that everyone has to do. You know, like they do in the jungle or parts around the world, they go on a rite of passage, don't they? At certain ages, you get thrown out to become a man. You know, do we come here as people settled here, as programs settled here, and like Matrix, the older programs are running it. You know, there's no big thing, and that's what makes me laugh when people talk about something. You talk about your idea, and then they go, they'll say one word, and expecting you to go. Oh. Like, context, don't you? You know, it's like I get one word, like, yeah, so what?
Yeah.
You know, everyone has got a plausible idea of what we are and where we are, but so does everyone else. So who makes you right? Again, with her, again, we are our own judge, jury, and executioner. We always have been. That's why the iris and part of the eyes is black. That's, you know, and then the white, it's the judge's wool. And I've showed you about sheep and water being all connected in my last video. So everything fits. And the reason would be like, you know, when people say to me, oh, bloody hell, Paul, it all can't be Janus. And I got my reply is to them, exactly. But why is it? I'm not making this shit up. I'm not making two. I'm putting the other two together.
Yeah.
I'm showing you.
Yeah.
Here's evidence that's out there that someone's wrote, and they look at it different from me, but I'm showing you. So if someone in an old book is saying Janus is the creator god, what if I'm not doing a job as a researcher and intriguing a topic if I don't tell you? It doesn't mean he's the creator god, or he could be. You know, why is all these connections again? Why is that 11? Seems to be in a lot of things, in important things. You know, it's like that video I did ages ago. Do you remember that video on Hell and Heaven, Sam? If you can remember it.
Yep.
Like, this is the letter in front of Hell and Heaven. It's the letter H, right? And etymologically, it's like a door. It's a doorpost or a post or a fence, right? So I don't know if you've watched that, London. So if you can, don't put you under pressure, right? You've got hell and heaven, right? Hell and heaven. Take away H off each letter. Off hell, take it off hell. What are you left with?
Evan.
You're left with, Evan, and hell is
the same thing. It's L, Evan.
L. Put L and heaven together.
You got it right there.
See?
Yes.
Why is hell and heaven spelled in 11?
Yes. Because it's linked. They're linked.
And even in gematria, hell and heaven and all that shit adds to.
Yes.
And the capital H is two linked ones as well, isn't it? Just with a line between them.
Yeah. Okay. Now look, see, this goes back to everything what I've been saying with the hollow earth system, the how would you call it? You know, those Russian dolls, right? What a
Yeah.
system inside of a system, right? It's all connected. Heaven, and you know, when they talk about it's heaven on earth. Oh, baby, there's a place on earth.
Yeah.
Heaven is a place on earth. You don't have to go out of earth to get to heaven. It's located within the realm. There you go.
I'd say it's located within us. It's a place.
Look,
like,
okay, look, hold on. Like, okay, let's go there now, right? Because look, we were talking about, oh, what's that there, Paul? Let me see. Yeah, L11, yeah, yeah. It's all
And
there.
both hell and heaven have what? They have famous doorways and gates.
Yeah. Now,
And this is the original letter H as it stands. Now, people say it's a window, but also, what is it?
the door.
A door.
Mm-hmm.
So if I put the connection of who is the god of doors and who they based St. Peter on, it's crazy. Even St. Peter is classed as the rock. The church is built on the rock. Oh, I thought we was in a cave. Oh, damn, exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right, go on, carry on.
Yeah, no, look, the Shio as well, right?
Yeah.
That's tied into the underworld, right? Now,
Yeah.
when you actually check it out, right? Like I just was saying, heaven and hell, and you just said it, heaven and hell. But I'm saying, are they both locations within Earth, or is it just one of the same? Now, when you check out Shio, right? Out of that word Shio, you can get hell, and you can also get soul, which is light, right? So there's both meanings in one, light and darkness, right? It's telling you right there. It's all in one system, right? But with the Shio part, I think we could possibly, this could be Shio, meaning the underworld. They say it's the place of the dead, right? We bury the dead, right? We bury the dead and we live with the dead. We live amongst the dead. We're walking on the dead, right?
Yeah.
And soon we're going to become the dead. There's no escaping that. So if
Yeah,
Shio,
like that video I've just not long done saying are we basically dead?
yeah, if Shio is a place of death and it's on these, quote unquote flat earth maps or flat earth depictions, what they're giving us, right? With the apparently the dome and you got the earth, it says, and then Shio, right? How do we know we're not actually in Shio? We just looked at these pictures and said, oh yeah, that's us there on top because it says earth, right? How do we know that we're really in earth? We got told we're in earth by the same people that gave us the globe. Like, we're gonna go against their model, but we're gonna keep their title. That don't make no sense, Paul.
Yeah. That is a link to Heaven's Gate. And it's got St. Mary in. Mary, we all know Mary, the mother, right? You can see the two trees representing the 11, the doorway, the gateway, right? So why do people ignore when I show you its name? Let me get it down. Janua Colii, Janus.
Ah,
Not
yeah.
me. I'm not telling you that.
Yeah.
So it's Heaven's Gate. Why is Heaven's Gate called Janus? I've not done it. I've not invented it. That's an old image.
It's exactly. It's there. It's there.
The
But
information's
I
there.
see it as well.
I'll interpret it slightly different, but that's all of us. And again, he's connected to the solstices, winter, you name it. I've showed it in videos, and it's like crazy. And then when we're talking about these things, it's intriguing. We're all intrigued by heaven and hell and different things, and had our own thoughts on it.
Yeah.
And like something that that big earthquake that happened in Russia the other day, 8.8. They showed a video by it's called Noah. I can't think of the abbreviation, what it all means.
Yes,
But it's,
NOAA.
yeah, and they showed you the ripples of the tsunami on a video that they made, and people are using that at the moment to sort of show flat Earth, because the model that they use, people are explaining that it wouldn't actually work on a global, like a global version. It's basically they're showing you that the whole thing's flat. It's quite bizarre.
Yeah, I can believe that. Yeah, definitely.
Just it's intriguing, isn't it? And I'm saddened that today we can't all. I mean, we can, because a lot of people are open-minded and respectful, but you can't have debates or what. This is why what Sam was asking. Oh, can we all have this little chat thing? And I'm like, yeah, it's cool. We're gonna have. And I thought, you know what? Because obviously I'm a gamer and different things, and into different religions and things, like in regard to the Nordic, and they have a moot, and you know they have it where the people come to pick a king and they sort out problems and shit. Have a debate, like a good honest discussion about different things, and call it the moot. I find it really good. And people at home, please get the questions in when this is out. Just put it in the chat, I might even premiere this, depending on if I'm still here with this storm that's coming in. We'll premiere it, and then, or you can leave in your comments in the questions and just put to the guys, or if you want a specific question answered by a specific person, I'll write him down, and then the next time we do it, we'll get the people to answer in it, and we'll do lives, and we'll change it out. We just want something where you can just put your feet up and hear three people just basically having a cool chat. And this is what I get excited about, and there's not enough of it, in my opinion.
That's it, exactly. And that's, Paul, this is all I've ever wanted, right? I don't know from the people, right? Other than open-minded discussions. And I think a lot of people are shying away from that. They just want the simple generic stuff that's out there. I can't do that anymore. I really can't. I've evolved past that stuff. Like, I need more, and there's more out there. My mind is just not confined to flat Earth or globe. There's much more out there when it comes to the construct.
Yeah, I'm fine if people are happy with saying, you know what, that's just all them and that's what they want to look at. Cool. But like you just said, you're more interested in looking further. So, well, Sam, we know Sam is, and you guys know what I basically look about anything. I don't want to restrain myself. I just want to talk, and I don't get upset with a topic or anything, because like I said at the beginning, I just treat it as information in that sense. Look at this. Whoa, that's made me think of it. And then I just go in my zone and I patch it across, and then think, damn, I made a video talking about something like this. What if I change that and then to this? And this is what you see in the videos. And that's just me not being pushed on anyone. And hopefully people have always saying, yeah, Paul, you're genuine. I've not changed. And I've been doing this now 8, 9, 10 years. And if people be honest, I'm hard to get hold of for a reason, because I don't want to get involved in the politics, and I want people just to enjoy the content for what it is. But you do also want to spread yourself. You want to spread your wings and you want to fly around for a bit, and then at least you can come back and land. And that's what I want to do. I want to do a lot of things. I want to appear on other channels and things, and not get, oh, well, you're on his channel, he's a shill, he's a gay. And I'm like, I'm stuck with that. I don't, if people appear on this show, you two guys, you're not my fucking blood kin. I don't live with you. We don't like, see, in 10 minutes, we'll go for we've met online. A lot of things match. We disagree on a few things, but we don't shout at each other over it.
No.
And you guys respect me. I respect you for what you've done. None of you have not been respectful. So if people don't get on with you, that's their problem. It's not the schoolyard. Oh, if you talk to him, you can't talk to me. I'm not about that. I'll talk to anyone if they just show me respect. I'm not up for stuff like where people getting ripped, but that's just me. If you want to do it, do it.
Mm-hmm,
But just leave me out of it and let me just fucking while away the years, the more grey hairs I'm getting, doing what I like doing. I want to get excited and I want to enjoy it. Like you guys, you want to do something that makes you smile, but society is not letting us. And then we're doing it to ourselves. I just don't get that.
Yeah. Which everyone that will be listening and us, I see it's all the dot connectors. We're just connecting dots, basically.
Yeah.
Trying to work out this experience that we're having, all having as well. You know, like they say, there's billions of people in this realm. There's there's billions of different perspectives and angles of what we're seeing here.
Yeah.
It's all experiencing a consciousness together. But it's just a shame we don't all get along, isn't it?
It's funny you say that, right? You'd think there's billions of perspectives, right? But there must be hundreds of millions of people who think the same also, right? Because that's why there's cults and there's followings. You understand? It's the free thinkers probably is far and wide, man.
Yeah. Well, that's going back to the programming again, mate, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, bruv, it's programming that everyone's under. And it, as I say, with the harmonic technology, they've managed to get it into every single house since when did the TV first come out? You know?
Yeah.
And now they've got
that's
computers.
What I've always said as well. You know, I've said that about people call television television.
Yeah.
What's the difference between using a computer? It's like a huge Ouija board.
Yeah.
And screen mirrors.
Screen mirrors, I was about to say, yeah.
Yeah, so if that's that, don't use a computer. And how you then you're on your own in the expanse of darkness.
Yeah.
No, so we need people. You can be in your little cave, but there's no harm in you having some people passing by every now and again saying, "Oh yeah, you're all right," and you know that interaction is needed because you get paranoid as shit. And that's what I've noticed in the community as well. People are getting too fucking paranoid.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, this is the duality of everything as well, Paul, isn't it? We can, like, for instance, us three would never have met if we didn't have this harmonic technology, you know? So there is some good in it, but there's also the bad as well. You've got to actually work it out yourself, basically, and use these things for positive means.
Yeah. And people, you know, doing the evil's bidding for them. You know, and there's like I did. I used to do the odd quote and poem and different things, and I wrote this. And it's not me saying I originally came up with it, but you know, to me it was, you know, unique to me in the sense. There's nothing as dangerous as a person who thinks they're basically doing the God's work. You know, a righteous person. There's no. It's a dangerous thing because, and I don't. No one take this as offended, but if you think you're doing the God's word, but thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not call your neighbour, but you're picking and choosing what to do because you think you're doing right. And that's just what is stuck in my head for a long time. Yes, I don't like some people, but I don't go out my way to ridicule them. But that's just me. I'm not forcing my values on you. But, you know, it's like when coming to my chat, you're coming into my house. I've opened the door. I've let you in. If you come into my house and shit on the carpet, there's going to be one thing that's going to happen. You know, you won't be coming back again, but you'll be going through the door or the window.
Yeah.
You don't come into someone else's house and shit on the path or shit on the carpet. You don't come into my house and abuse fellow guests. Doesn't matter if I've known you longer. People all about this and all about respect, but you're not respecting where you've gone into. If I go into your chat, I'll respect you. It's your, you know, and that's what's wrong with the society. And just look at the wide range of things we're talking about today. We've got a wide range of stuff. And that's the beauty of it, of able just going off cuff and not restricting ourselves. And that's the beauty of it. What I want from you guys. Yes, we'll talk about topics that's intrigued you and, you know, you want to get it in, but it'd be natural in the sense of just let it flow. and naturally go to a topic. You know what? This has annoyed me today. What do you think about this, guys? You know,
Yeah.
bit of a sounding board to get off your worries and the troubles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
for
that's
sure,
another
bro.
thing. Sometimes it's good to you know, bounce ideas off one another. Like something that I have sitting there and I might not see the bigger picture, and I bring it to you and you say, "Hey, London, I've got this for that." I'm like, "Ah, brilliant, Paul. That's what I was missing, that part, that piece of the puzzle right there." I like that type of stuff, right? Because there's times, Paul, when I either say to people, "Hey, if you got any information or work you want to show to the public, the community, hit the link." You know, it's one of those days. Come and present your stuff, because sometimes people may have stuff that I haven't seen yet. You understand, and vice versa. But sometimes people get I don't know whether it's shy or they just haven't got the guts anymore to get up on the panel and say what they really feel, because they don't want to get ridiculed for not going along with the get along gang. You understand?
Yeah, for sure, bro. Yeah.
And that's the way I see it. Because I do get people messaging me about this ice stuff, Paul, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And they see what I see, right? But they dare not to even communicate in the chat, because they don't want to be seen as that person. I'm like, cool, I don't mind. I'll be seen as that person. Someone's got to do it, right?
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at with it now. I found so much links to confirm with what I've been researching, to the point where I don't mind being looked at as the crazy person, because there's people before me that was doing this, like in the 1800s, in the 60s, like they was talking about this stuff. It's not just me saying it. So if I'm crazy, that means those people back in those days was crazy. Right. So
Yeah. Critical thinkers, people with discernment, or whatever you want to call you or I, if you can call us. I know I'm not, but they've been thought in different. You used to use your left hand, you were accused of being a witch, a warlock, and all that shit. People are just thought differently. Have always been associated, and you can talk about like the Renaissance or the Golden Age, and people thought differently and thought, you know, when it was okay. And it's like, also you get a lot of patterns and trends of topics hitting, you know, hitting our shores, and people take it and run with it. And some of them, I mean, I can't be the only one, surely, because I've said it on live streams and in videos. Sometimes I look at something and go, guys, are you fucking serious? Do you know, it's like we're going too overboard to promote something. And it's not natural anymore. It's, you know, they've made the bed for themselves, and it seems like they're just going and all in. And we should be seeing Sam Carno. We should, well, not Sam, because he's incognito. He's actually, guys, if you're seeing at home, he's actually got a good suntan, so you can't see him. And he's wearing his mankini. He put the backlight on, and I thought it was Shannon Stone from Basic Instinct. Oh my god!
Yeah, I didn't want to put everyone through
outside.
that image, Paul. Do you know what I mean? Me and my mankini.
he's in his cave. He's in the cave. That's why you can't see him. He's in the cave.
His legs will go like that, and I'm like, oh my god! I just saw a stray nut. Oh no! Bleach the eyes! Bleach the eyes!
That's wild.
He blocked me quickly.
Yeah, he said, he goes, "Do I look beautiful like this?"
And I was doing the truffle shuffle
London
and all.
Doesn't want to see that, so he thought, okay, I'll be respectful. It's the first Moot. He does want to, you know, get his dancing frame on. God, tell you what, if we were dancing, it'd be so funny, it'd be hilarious. It's something like, you know, when I always thought, you know what, for charity and different things, we should have done like a truthers calendar.
Oh God, blimey!
Can you imagine that?
Truthers calendar.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And all go to some good cause, like, but people are just out to make money, and that's why I try and stay away from that. But it'd be funny. Sam would be in January, wouldn't you? Black screen. I'm pausing, guys. It just, you know.
Now, hey, Paul, cool, because even in the community, right, there's people that are content creators, and then you've got people that is just channel holders, right? and then everybody does either the same or whatever they do,
Yeah.
right? But I don't mind, right, contributing to content creators who's on the same journey as me, right? A bit of motivation. It's my way of saying, keep going. I see what you're doing, see what you're bringing to the table, right? But then you get some people that's straight out grifting, and you know they're not ashamed of it. You understand? Fair play to them. They're not ashamed of what they want. You know, I give them credit for that.
Yeah.
Right? There's even sometimes when I've even donated to a grifter channel because I like the entertainment to some degree. Right? So I'm like, yeah, mate, you done a good job today. You entertained me. I let my hair down. Thanks for having me on. So I'll give you a little
And
something.
if people don't lie about it,
Yeah.
you know, we guys put the hours in. Even Sam may not do content, but he's supporting channels. He's running channels. He's getting guests for it. He does a lot behind closed doors, as they say. You know, so everyone has the bit. And I, like I said, I didn't want to really be a content creator, but people were using my information, taking credit for it. So I thought, you know what, I'll have to become and show, hey, this is come from me type of thing, and it went from there. But yeah, you know what I mean, there's no harm if people want to make money. I've always said that. People always say, oh, we're not associating with Paul because he doesn't believe in people doing this and this and this. It's not. Just be upfront with people. You know, you're giving information, you're putting the hours in. If you want, accept whatever you want to call it, have memory, all that, do it, because it's hard work. We take a lot of abuse.
Yeah.
It is, you know, it's horrific that what we have to go through. But also just be straight and open with people. There's no harm in it. But people trying to hide. But I will say it is hard work. You know, we've all got our jobs and different things that we do behind the scenes. And then you're on the computer for hours a day or hours in a week. It's bloody hard going. What for? So someone say you're a knobhead, or you're the devil incarnate. It's like, come on. It's just ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? And I take my hat off, and that's why I've said to people, please try it out. It's not for everyone, and you'd be shocked. You know, at 1 minute you're like, oh my God, this is the best thing in the world. Why did I not do this? And then 10 minutes later, you want to cry, you want to come off it.
Yeah.
I want to be in there, but on here, you're either up or you're down. And that's why we need more people like us and in the chat, more of that.
Yeah.
You know, have some bad, have some good, but equal amounts. It's just mind-blowing. So we're going to call it a do. So if people, again, want to ask Sam a question, ask London a question, please do. Go. Sam's not got a channel. I don't know if he ever will. But, you know, he does a lot of work behind closed doors, and he'll be in chats of other chats. Say hello to him. London's got a channel. His link will be in this description. Please go and show him some love. If you want to ask me a question or the guys, please just put Q in the comments and say question to all or us, and we'll go over a topic or someone's comments.
Yeah.
And this is just the first one, just an introductory moot, and people thinking that what's going on here. I just find it fascinating to get some people that, you know, are open-minded and willing to share a room. Not technically, you know, Sam's eyes lit up then, share a room. I can't help myself, you know, I give him a lot of shit, Sam, but, you know, it's only because he's my brother from another mother, you know, so it's all in good jest. But yeah, we're here for a laugh, guys, and hopefully you've enjoyed it tonight. The good, intriguing stuff, the sometimes a bit serious stuff. We just want to talk about anything, and hopefully that reflects in you guys watching it at home or wherever you are today. So please, guys, like I always say, stay safe, always wear a smile, and that's me saying my my pun to get away. I'm gonna let Sam have his last word, and then London will be the last. So go on, Sam.
Well, I'll just say big hugs to everyone listening, and cheers, London, for joining us. Because when me and Paul spoke about it, you were the first person we thought of. So big hugs, fella.
Brilliant. Humbled. I appreciate you guys, man. Thanks for having me. It's been epic, and this is only the beginning. I'm pretty sure there's much more to come. I'm sure of that much. And also, I wanted to say, lots of material that Paul has put out there. I think we could owe him a favor, right? If we actually go back and have a look, because there's so much gems in some of his stuff. Even I'm gonna have to go back and have a look in some of his stuff, right? He's already sent me a link, and I'm gonna go through that thoroughly, because there's much more material that I'm gonna put out. And speaking of material, I am premiering something tonight, actually, maybe for about 10ish. So what's today? Sunday. So you guys may see this on a Monday or so. So hopefully you've seen it by then, and you can give me some feedback and tell me what you think about it.
Yeah, well said, bro.
I'll land it right there.
Right. I will end the recording now. So don't go, guys. I'll have a quick chat when we finish the recording. And I'll leave this in. This is how professional I am. So, guys, stay safe. Always wear a smile. And don't let the bar stools grind us down. Bye.
Laylo.
Ta-da.